Hello, my name is Mars, and welcome back to Harmony, the Fall of Reverie. In the last episode, we finally found Ursula, and we learned, as I suspected, that she was having a secret relationship with the aspiration, the god basically, Chaos, and that she was working with Chaos to usurp glory as the current reigning aspiration and put Chaos on the throne, basically. And now our choices are between using chaos to depose glory or cooperating with the aspirations. I don't fully know what the implications of chaos being in charge would be. I don't necessarily trust them. I don't think I trust Glory either because it said that she is in league with MK. And this outcome is corroborated by Truth, who I still trust more than any of the other aspirations. My immediate thought is that I want to go with this one, but I feel like we need more information before we can truly make that decision. So we're going to start the beginning of chapter 3. Okay, so immediately we have some options blocked off. The one we're going to have to go with is the weird mood in which Truth opened a path into Chaos's maze for us. What was blocked off and what was revealed, no, what is blocked off for us and what unfortunately prevents us from revealing future nodes are Laszlo's Wrath, which would involve us relying mostly on our own skills to look for Ursula, and Nora's Fury, which would mean relying heavily on others to find Ursula. I think it's good that we avoided Laszlo's Wrath or Nora's Fury. Everyone's kind of in a good place, I guess, even though we have a weird mood. So, I think this is good. As eccentric as they are, I'm glad I talked to Chaos. It helps me understand my mother a little better, but it's still a lot to take in. Ooh, different angle of the naiads. I returned from Reverie to find the naiads divided. We all retired to our separate rooms for the night. No one spoke, not even to say good night. I don't remember falling asleep. I do remember the flashes of reverie that flickered through my mind as I tossed and turned. Impossible landscapes, incredible vistas, vivid surges of light glowing and refracting. A throne of sun-bleached bone, a shattered silhouette made whole. A heartbeat. In the morning, I find Laszlo and Nora in the kitchen. No sign of Ursula. You have experienced a change of paradigm. You have to get accustomed to it. You refuse to go my way. You do not go my way to locate and free your mother. This possibility is close to you. Okay. So, weird mood. No one speaks. Nora and Laszlo have barely touched the food they set out for breakfast. It's been so long it's cold and unappetizing now. Ursula hasn't come out of her room. Several minutes pass in silence, except for the listless clink of silverware and ceramic and the occasional vibration of Nora's phone. After a long sip of water, she clears her throat.
I feel so stupid.
So do I. But what else could we have done?
To be honest, Polly, it just reminds me of your mum going away when you were a kid. And even before that.
When you were young, your mum always disappeared for a reason, and she'd always be back. With help, or money, or something useful.
I didn't bother to look for her back in the day. Knew she'd be back when she was ready. But this time, felt different. Made me nervous.
That was more than I expected Laszlo to say in front of Nora. Despite her distress, she listened without interrupting. The silence makes Laszlo self-conscious.
Let's just try to eat.
Maybe if I got another way, they could be mad at each other. I don't know. Instead of me. We were right to worry, but now it's clear Ursula was on some kind of secret mission when we interrupted. Things are stranger and more complex than we realized. None of us have dared knock on her door to ask exactly what happened. Even now, no one has tried. We don't even know if she's here or if she snuck back to MKHQ. Alright. Spend time with Nora. Stay with Laszlo. Or, she might have something important to say. Laszlo surely knows how to deal with Ursula. Okay. So I think we're going to be able to go both of these directions. Do we know what our outcomes are yet? No, we don't. Try to empathize with Ursula. Confront Ursula. Unlocked by a hidden node. What? Oh, I see. So we have to go down one of these paths. And then, only at the end of that path, will we be able to choose the second option here. Okay. So we could demand answers, mention Nora, confront Ursula. Okay, I see how this works. So, I think look, I'm mad at Ursula. I think that I would rather demand answers and start down this path. I know it would probably go against what Bond wants, but I'm going to be honest. I'm not really trusting Bond so much because he's siding with chaos in the outcomes that we have available for us going forward. Which we still don't know if that's what we want to do or not. If that outcome is the one that we are aiming for or not. So, actually, no, but we read that poem where Ursula said that she didn't want us. So, look, I'll probably end up confronting her either way. I think I'm going to start here, actually. Because I still have the option to confront her, even if empathizing is an option. So I'm going to start here. I want to spend time with Nora. That's my impetus right now. Demanding answers would probably be good, but I don't know. This game is hard. This game is hard, man. Sometimes you just have to go for it on instinct, even though you have all the tools to plan ahead. I find Nora at the bottom of the empty pool right after breakfast. She's scrolling through her phone and doesn't seem to want to be disturbed. Ursula still hasn't come out of her room.
We can't avoid her forever.
You go. I'm not sure how I'd react to her right now.
That's fair.
I sit down next to her and try to stretch my legs. Every fiber of my body feels tense.
I don't want to say anything I'll regret. I have all these questions, but I don't know if I really want the answers.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
We're living in constant, uncomfortable uncertainty. It's taking its toll on everyone.
I'm going to try and talk to her.
Good luck.
Okay, we have the key to mention Nora. Oh. Oh, we still have to do this, don't we? Oh, no, we have to do this first. Time to talk. I can't stand her silence anymore. There's her room, where we found the necklace. I head to Ursula's door and knock a few times. No answer. I call her name.
What is it, Polyhymnia?
Polyhymnia. That's how you pronounce Polly's full name. She knows how much I hate that name, but she always uses it. I knock again without replying, and at last she opens the door. She looks weary. Her eyes catch on the necklace around my neck. She makes a point of showing she's noticed it. She knows I know much more than I've let on. I thought she might shy away from it. Instead, she suggests we have a chat.
I'm sure you have so many questions. So many old wounds you'd like to reopen. I will tell the truth. My truth. Although, there are certain things I'd like to keep to myself.
For example, chaos?
Yeah.
Ah, so they told you. Not exactly surprising, but inconvenient. My love for chaos is indeed a forbidden topic. It's too fresh, too strong to put into words. You may be Reverie's new oracle, but you're still my daughter.
Alright. I got a pop-up from my friend. In the past, that hasn't been an issue, but Bandicam is recording the achievement pop-ups for this game, so I might have to blur that out. I'll have to talk to my friend first. It feels so strange hearing that title in my mother's voice.
I suppose they told you about Gloria's little dalliance with monoconcern, too.
How did you...
No? Well, that started before I was cast out. Back then it was a minor issue, but now it is everything.
But no, I can't get distracted. I dropped my entire life on the mainland, my studies, my work, my friends, all to come looking for her. And now that I found her, my presence is barely registered. She hardly seems to care at all. This is why I left in the first place. Alright, these are inevitable nodes. Unlocked by a hidden node. Okay. The end of glory. The beast with two heads. Okay. So I'm gonna go this way. Mention Nora. I tell Ursula about Nora's reaction. For a while, she doesn't speak.
Nora and I have a lot in common. Much more than I thought. She'll understand.
I can't help but be a bit jealous. I'm not sure my mother would ever say the same about me. Oh yeah, she's closer to Nora.
She'll surprise you too.
I don't understand what this is supposed to mean, but Ursula won't say anything more.
I'm sorry to have scared all of you. Call it abandonment if you must, but I did not intend to come back. Do you really think I went to MKHQ on a whim?
Okay. Now stuff opens up. So I'm gonna have to go here. Ursula's getting annoyed, or the last straw. Well, I don't have any chaos crystals to lose. Right now I need to do this. Or, everything is pointing at the corporation. I'll do this first. I always jump straight to the choice nodes and skip the required transitional nodes. Her expression is firm and resolute.
I left to stop them. I wanted to use their technology to return to Reverie for good, and to break the connection they fostered with Glory.
Did you find any leads?
She scowls. Not necessarily at me, just at the world in general. The usual.
I did not have enough time. I need not remind you of the interruption. But I'm quite certain of MK's involvement. Their courtship of Reverie must end. The partnership with Glory has already given too much power to monoconcern.
Alright. So I have to go this way. Alright, so... It's fun to meet new people, but these two don't have much in common. Okay. So... We only have 3 timers turns to do this before it really gets to the last straw. I don't have any chaos crystals to lose, but this is the matter of it.
Yes. They managed to reach out to glory thanks to a substance and some people. Part of Atena's population has always been able to see the future. It was a gift from the aspirations to our island. This ability is enhanced by a substance called egregor.
She nods at the flash of recognition that crosses my face.
MK found out. They modified egregor to make it even more potent. And they started conducting tests on people to see if they would respond to it. These subjects, the prescients, became vessels. They could speak Glory's words to MK. This has been going on for a few years. And as a result, MK's power has grown. How do you stop a company that receives help from a god? You can't.
I can understand her cynicism after what she experienced, but I don't think the aspirations are gods. What are they then? Alright, so this is mention Nora's brochures. What about Jade? Alright, I'm gonna have to do one of these. Let's see what this branch is. Ursula knew about the prescience and the egregor.
I knew that MK had begun to communicate with Glory, but it would be some time before I understood how. Atena's prescients are usually unable to communicate directly with aspirations. They can only do so because of MK's modified egregor, and for quite a while, I had no idea such a substance existed.
It's news to me too.
This new egregor, what does modified mean here?
In all honesty, I still don't know. It's more potent, that's for sure. Concentrated. It appears to have had an effect on Glory. She was never one for solitude, but now she's locked herself away in that pyramid of hers.
Or something's trapped her there.
When I met Jade, she mentioned medical tests, MK and egregor, and I could guess what they'd been up to. But that's the extent of my knowledge. I have been trying to return to Reverie for the past 20 years. I knew that it was in danger, that it needed me, and now that I could communicate with it again. I cooperated with MK, hoping to find a way to return to Reverie and to free Glory from their grasp. I know how it sounds. I can hear myself, and I'm not proud.
She pauses for a moment, hands wringing themselves around one another.
After several weeks, I realized how wrong I was. The prescience, the modified egregor, was doing something to them. So I decided to escape to Reverie. From there, I thought I could...
She intended to stay there with chaos, leave us all behind, live a magical life of eternal love with her beloved aspiration. She doesn't finish her sentence. Instead, she simply waves her hand through the air in my general direction.
I was so close to success when you interrupted.
There's a note of her voice that rings of pain and sorrow and missed opportunities. She's wounded, and I won't attack now. I won't attack ever. Alright. Which secret will we learn today? Okay. Well, I can gain a chaos crystal. Oh, these are all revealed now. The rain misses the clouds, pity for the selfish, trust isn't built on lies. Admit her plan was good. Show her flaws. Show she can rely on you, a scornful reaction. Goodness. Forgive her. Oh, God. Well, here's the thing. It sounds like Glory is not the bad guy here necessarily. It sounds like she's trapped. So I don't want to hurt her if that is what Chaos wants. But I don't necessarily know what Chaos wants, and I don't know the full extent of Ursula's plan yet either. So, the crux of it is I still don't know whether or not I want to forgive Ursula. Alright. Jade's secret or Nora's for sure. She received these documents about MK's program. I don't think I want to do this one. Look, I'm all for, I'll say it. I think that the idea of Ursula and Chaos having a relationship with gods, that's very sexy. I will admit that. But, A, Ursula's my mom, so I don't want that to be sexy. And B, there are more important things to worry about right now, Ursula and Polly. So I'm not going to follow that path. Mention Nora's for sure, but that seems the most important thing. I don't want to hear Jade's secret. I tell Ursula about the brochures Nora received, about how she discussed overtures from MK with me and then with Jade, who warned her off in no uncertain terms. Ursula remains silent for a while.
Do not underestimate the amount of data MK has on the residents of Athena. It would follow that they use this data to select targets and appeal to them accordingly.
I hope they'll leave her alone.
Could Nora be a prescient? Oh. Yeah, I feel like that was important information to unlock. If Nora can see the future. That's interesting. I won't say it out loud. I'm afraid she'd be mad if I revealed what might be a risky secret. Ursula doesn't say anything more. The silence between us stretches on. She seems to expect something from me. Okay, let's just go here. I know this face. She's about to put an end to the discussion. I've only got so much time before she gets tired of this. I don't want to gossip, Chaos. Let's just end this discussion. I shouldn't press her any further or she'll close off. She's giving me that look of hers. Eyes narrowed, brows raised, lips pressed into a terse line. I can almost hear her saying, "You're trying my patience now."
Let's just move on.
By all means.
Yeah. Okay. Ursula reflects on the people she's hurt. Okay. Ursula sits down next to me and lets out a long sigh.
I will apologize to all of you. I'm sorry, Polyhymnia. Yes, I was being selfish, and the plan was absurd. But it almost worked. And if it had, this whole island would be rid of MK by now. You would all have been better off. For me, it was a one-way ticket to Reverie. But what is one life when you're acting for the benefit of thousands?
I'd never thought of it like that before. I would have lost my mother for good if her plan had succeeded. But hey, I'd be glad to sacrifice her for saving an entire island's worth of people. Yes, I did sacrifice Chloe at the end of Life is Strange. What of it? We look at each other for a moment, not in opposition or agreement. We simply observe one another. It's almost surreal.
Now, we have other matters to discuss.
Okay. So. Yeah, I can't confront her. All I can do is try to empathize. I can try and get the answers to the question Nora won't ask. Okay. That's fine. Being angry isn't important now. I just want to understand. I tell her so. Silence follows. As always, I have no idea if it means she's relieved or disapproving. She always thought I was too soft, too gullible, not assertive enough. I think she always wanted me to do better than her, but I never managed to live up to her standards. She looks at the necklace again.
You're probably the only one who can understand exactly what happened. who I can tell the whole truth.
Okay. Whole truth. That sounds good to me. Alright, you've read in her poems that Ursula didn't want to be a mother. What kind of oracle was she? Why did it all end? Does she have regrets? I could go, what's wrong with Glory? How does she feel now? Okay. Her relationship with Chaos. That's not important. Chaos Crystal. Okay, either way. Saving Reverie. I feel like this is the most important thing to ask about. What's wrong with Glory? So yeah. I think I'm going to have to reluctantly go with power here. Strangely enough, Reverie is one of the few things we have in common.
Does your disappearance have anything to do with Reverie?
Ursula smiles at the mention of it.
Of course. I had a great deal of unfinished business there, and I loved being the Oracle. I loved it as much as I love being a poet.
Oracles, a caste of Oxeon women with a strong connection to their dreams. They were tasked with conversing with us and predicting the future for their people. With a few born each generation, oracles were messengers between Brittle and Reverie. After the Oxeons disappeared, this knowledge was lost, and our conversation with humans became sparse and hazy. Oracles still exist today, but without proper rituals and structures, the link between our worlds has never been fully reforged.
I'm glad someone can understand now.
I've never seen her so nostalgic. Okay. Should I really bring that to the table? I have no choice. I mentioned the poem I found. The one about how I got in the way of her life in Reverie.
You loved being the Oracle, but you didn't love being a mother, did you? Was I ever more than an inconvenience to you?
I'm glad that we're bringing this out in the open. I think that's the right thing to do. Ursula's eyes widen, and how she reacts is probably going to inform how I treat her going forward.
You weren't supposed to find that. That was just a broad version of the truth. Having children isn't easy. When I got pregnant with you, things were very different. At the time, I didn't think I'd be on my own.
You thought Marco would stay and take care of me?
Yeah, I think that's very fair. Like, being a single mother when that's not what you planned on, that's going to be hard. And yes, having art as a way to express that hardship is valid. It doesn't necessarily mean that she didn't love Polly. Just because she put these uncomfortable, intrusive thoughts into words that she never expected Polly to read, that doesn't mean she didn't love Polly.
Marco?
She sounds surprised. She wasn't expecting me to mention my father. Why is that? Previously an engineer at Monoconcern. Current location unknown. Ex-partner of Ursula Beauclair and father of Polyhymna Beauclair. Born on Athena to Lombardian parents. Studied chemical engineering. Hired by Monoconcern after graduation. Promoted to several high-profile projects. Formerly in a relationship with Ursula Beauclair, with whom he had a daughter. Left for undisclosed reasons. Moved to the West Dominion in 2003. No recent activity. I press on, but she stays silent. Her cold voice cuts through my barrage of questions.
I did not like being a mother, Polyhymnia. We've both known that deep down the whole time, haven't we? It has nothing to do with you. If anything, I was the one who wasn't up to the task.
That's very fair. Some people... I think parenthood is hard, but that doesn't necessarily mean that if you're not built to be a parent, but you are a parent, you can realize that it's not the job for you without hating your child.
I did not like being a mother, but I would have liked to have been a mother to you.
Yeah, that's fair. I think she handled that as well as she could have.
I'm aware that I failed.
Okay. Okay, You're off my shit list for the time being, Ursula. But, yeah. Everyone living with other people has them, but hers must be something to hear. Regrets? I only know she didn't leave on purpose. Do you wish to compare yourself to your predecessor? I want to know what the deal with Glory is, so I'm going to collect one of each truth, bliss, and power. Just so I have a foundation. Oh, here we go. Ursula takes my hand. Regret is a path she hardly treads, but you can show her the direction. Ursula smiles defiantly. Ursula is a powerful spirit that need to be proven your worth. Okay. If you gain her trust, she'll let you in on more than meets the eye. I think I already missed out on doing Chaos's thing. Yeah. There's not a way to get a third one. Okay, I could do... I want to know what the deal with Glory is, so... Yeah, I want to know what the deal with Glory is. So... Right away I'm doing this. What kind of oracle was she? Her gaze lingers on the necklace.
I found the pendant while I was researching the Oxyons. I think someone, the previous oracle, intended for me to find it. Reverie had only been without an oracle for a short time.
When was this?
Oh, years ago, before you were born. Glory was the heart then. I knew I had to replace her, but I harbored no misgivings about her at the time.
So what happened?
My opinion changed because of how she dealt with monoconcern. And Reverie itself changed my perception of the world. I wanted Chaos to be the new heart. No oracle had ever chosen them, not one. They were all too cautious.
Unlike you?
Indeed. Chaos has the power to change the very fabric of our world. Radically.
Okay. Why did it all end? My mother starts to laugh. It's not a sound I'm used to hearing, to be honest.
No need to beat around the bush. They must have told you I was cast out. Chaos and I broke their rules and made quite a mess in our effort to go undetected.
They caught you?
We were reckless. At the time, most of the aspirations also liked Glory. They didn't approve of me growing apart from her, and from the heart. They had no suspicions about MK at all.
Alright. What's wrong with Glory? Oh, going for the big question, are you? Go on. That seems important to know. I haven't had the opportunity to get to know Glory yet, but Ursula has. She knows more about the situation than I do.
We were friends. Then MK showed up, and I tried to warn her that their motives were suspect. She didn't listen. When I reached out to her for support, she ignored me. If she had done something, I would probably still be the Oracle today. But she never liked me disagreeing with her.
Sounds familiar.
She let them condemn me and Chaos.
She chuckles.
I confess I thought you'd be less professional here, Polyhymnia. I'm glad you're taking your role as Oracle so seriously.
Saving Reverie. She suddenly looks at me with sadness. What else am I unlocking? Oh. One that I can't do now. Okay. Ursula tells me that when she was the Oracle, she eventually spent more time in Reverie than in Brittle. She believed that helping the aspirations cooperate, encouraging them to act on humanity, was the best way forward.
For a while, I intended to return to Reverie to make amends, to ask them to forgive me. When I was cast out, I felt like I had lost everything, and that never quite faded away. But right now, Reverie needs to be saved. MK has tightened its hold on Reverie. I'm worried about Glory, and yes, I did want to be reunited with Chaos. That, I acknowledge, may sound silly to you, but it isn't to me. I'm not asking you to understand or even to respect it.
Okay. So, this is where you need to go now. Ursula explains her plan. Ursula takes a long breath. She tells me she's going to explain what happened in more detail.
You have questions, of course. And I expect you've received some information you hardly know how to handle. I will explain in greater detail, but I ask that you don't interrupt me for the time being.
I nod. This is familiar territory. We went over the don't interrupt me directive often enough while I was growing up.
Shortly before I was made to leave Reverie, MK managed to locate an access point to Reverie. At the time, I had no clue how they had done it. Glory didn't see an issue. Quite the contrary, in fact. She had brought so much progress to humanity, she thought the two worlds merging was the natural next step. So, she began to help them. Glory acted as the most potent influencing tool you can imagine. She made people want more, always more. She predicted the future and swayed their dreams.
My discussion with Chaos is starting to make more sense.
I already hated MK. They were turning Athena into some kind of grotesque amusement park. It was all about expensive products, new technologies, influence, and appearances. They raised the cost of everything, while their employees struggled to survive on minimum wage. And now, they own half of Athena. They have direct control of entertainment and advertisements, so we are under their thumb. People give them money, labor, opportunity. All MK offers in return is an illusion. Monoconcern sells them a dream at an impossible price. That they can one day reach the life they aspire to, a life filled with leisure and success. A life where they will be wanted. A life with meaning and purpose. But in reality, this success is only to be enjoyed by a few. The rest of us are condemned to inadequacy. Condemned to work and push forward, only to realize we'll never be enough. Never reach the dream dangling like a carrot on a stick, because it does not exist.
Talk about inadequacy. This speech is the most my mother has deigned to speak to me in years.
And now MK cannot be stopped. I know they corrupted Glory. And while Glory is in power, people cannot outgrow that dream. Aspirations send dreams to people. They inspire goals. People won't stop yearning for more while Glory reigns. And now, she is little more than MK's puppet.
Okay, so it is not good that Glory is in a place of power right now, but you know, is replacing her with Chaos the best choice? I feel like there are other options. The beast with two heads. Ursula finally opens up, but now what? I tell Ursula about the situation in Reverie.
The other aspirations are worried about Glory. They can't reach her at all.
They're right to worry. I don't know what MK's modified egregor is doing to her, but she's likely not in good shape. No matter what you'll do next, Polyhymnia, I must warn you, I aim to continue with my plan. I want Glory deposed, and I want MK out of Reverie.
For the first time since the beginning of this conversation, I can hear the aspirations whispering at the back of my mind. Okay, so who do I listen to? Oh, I can't go this direction. Can I? Affection despite the trouble, trust isn't built on lies. Well, I would rather get one of these anyway. A scornful reaction, pity for the selfish. I know more about Ursula and Jade's reaction. I followed Power's advice. I know how Ursula was. Show she can rely on you, or show her flaws. Okay. So I could have Ursula take my hand, gain 10 bliss and 10 bond crystals. Ursula is a powerful spirit that needs to be needs to be proven your worth. Okay. Then I would be on a good track towards keeping, or rather, not necessarily keeping glory and power, but not following Ursula's plan to keep chaos and power. This would give me a balance and would allow me to choose more strongly at a later date. Ursula needs to be proven my worth. Well, either way, I have to do this. Okay, I'm in Power's stronghold. You got a big throne, I like it. Power radiates a sense of stony hauteur. Unsurprisingly, Power's stronghold is the grandest sanctuary in Reverie. It presides over many dreams and is said to extend deep into the ground of Reverie. Its stark obsidian slabs come from the darkest nightmares Powers has managed to venture into. They serve as a reminder of strength for everyone to see. The stronghold has seen many wars and conquered many dreams, but it remains firmly rooted in the heart of Power's realm.
Your mother thought she was stronger than all of us.
Why is he associated with fish? That's weird.
She could have looked for a new oracle to help us. Instead, she refused to accept her fate, and she sought her own solution to our problem. Very presumptuous of her.
Okay. Ursula asked me what I'm hearing. When I repeat it to her, she laughs.
Easy to say for someone who banished me from Reverie on the basis of some obscure celestial inhibition. There was nothing actually preventing me from being with Chaos. The aspirations just didn't think a human was good enough.
Okay. Bliss. Hi, Bliss. It's been a while. Bliss tucks her gamepad into one of her voluminous pockets and cocks her head to one side, thinking.
I understand. I'd have been gutted to be cut out of Reverie. I mean, it's much more fun here, and Ursula loved us, but she didn't think about us. We starved without an oracle to bring us a Gregor. And no Gregor means we're half the aspirations we used to be, Sprout. It sucks, though. But I feel sorry for her.
Ursula isn't surprised to hear this.
Do you think I have no self-awareness? I know I was selfish, but I felt like I had lost everything. I didn't think I'd refuse to let go of my ties to Reverie, but I did.
Okay. I'm gonna be wishy-washy, I think. Show her flaws, or show she can rely on you. Trust can only be built by more than one person, or sometimes the simplest of truths can be dismissed, yet here they are. So I need to choose between making her regret or making her defiant. Okay, so... it's hard. It's a hard choice. I think at this point, I still feel like I don't have all the information. I'm gonna go the wishy-washy route. I'm gonna go here and have about an equal number of bond and bliss crystals, so I am on an equal track to both of these. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm going the wishy-washy route. I've tried appealing to her, I've tried pleading, I've tried questioning, now I'm getting mad.
You could have told us. We could have helped. I always thought you were too proud. And now I know I was right.
Ursula smiles. She seems happy I'm challenging her a bit.
Fair enough, my dear. Fair enough.
I can feel my heartbeat slow a little, my brow cool.
Can you at least rely on us now?
She nods. I can tell she's a bit shaken.
I was not expecting anyone to look for me, to be honest. You all know how I can be.
I do. I just wish I knew her better. Ursula ends the conversation. You had your fun, Polly, but your time is up. Whatever vulnerabilities I've managed to expose seem to disappear as Ursula regains her usual level of strict composure.
At least my time at MK HQ gave me an idea of what to do next. I'm not ready to share it yet. We'll discuss it tomorrow. After what you did, I'm certain MK knows we're onto them. Get ready, Polyhymnia. You probably won't need to keep your secrets much longer. We're going to need all the help we can muster.
Okay. And now? Whoa! Looks like she's finally coming to her senses. Bond will be happy. She knows who she's up against, and she won. Okay. You missed all the important things. You should have chosen my way. I think I'm happy with this. Suddenly, Ursula looks weary. The conversation seems to have exhausted her. Oh, she slips her hand into mine, squeezing hard. Is that a tear glistening in the corner of her eye?
I'm sorry.
I feel like she's finally allowing herself to let her guard down.
I suppose the Orgrill told you how to give me the courage to be vulnerable. I could hold it against you. It's rather manipulative, but I've never really opened up to you, have I? I'm glad you're still trying to understand me, even though I don't deserve it.
Yeah, I kind of get the feeling that this game is pushing you to think that specifically, like, Bond, like, his paths are all kind of manipulative because you know ahead of time what will get people to open up. So you're pushing people's buttons in an intentional way. But I think, yeah, the game has a point there. Being kind is one thing, but being kind when you know specifically what it will get you is different. I don't think that it's bad. Polly has these powers that anything she does is going to end up being manipulative in some way. It's going to make people bend to her will, but I don't know. It's an interesting thought. And I would have been okay if the game didn't acknowledge it, but it does. So, yeah, that's good. Alright. Nah, you don't deserve to know what it is. Okay. This is the beginning of a much broader quest. Ursula stands up.
You've set foot on a cosmic path, but you've only just begun. And now you know you have an enemy to face to preserve Reverie and Brittle. How you accomplish this is up to you alone. I have my own ideas about how to proceed. I'd like us to work together. But again, that's up to you.
She walks me to the door. I'm not sure what to think. Okay. Alright, so we're on an equal path to all of these. Why wasn't I invited? You can't do it without me. I'm sorry, Chaos. I'm working towards your goal either way. I hope we don't regret this, says Bond. Well, they're all so angry. They're getting so angry with me. I don't like it. Okay, I chose the middle route and now everyone's mad. Oh well. We'll deal with the consequences of that next time. I have been Mars, and I will be back with more harmony The Fall of Reverie.